G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the second episode of the Toy Talk, and today we've got an 80 series. So in a minute I'll cut to Dan, he'll introduce himself, and then we'll do a full walk around of the car inside and out. And then we're going to be hitting some tracks today as well, so we'll be doing all the testing like you would have seen in the last episode, like the speed tests, reduction tests, flex tests, comfortability, and then I'll chuck in some clips of the full driving we do today as well.
G'day guys, my name's Dan, or Dan's 80 from Bendigo, and this is my 1994 1FZ 80 series.
Alright, so starting up the front, what have we got?
Custom bull bar made by myself. It was originally an ARB bull bar, just a stock ARB bar, cut to pieces, raised up pretty much just to follow the body, just sit a lot closer. Just a King's winch on it and just a stubby GME aerial. And then the headlights are just your eBay specials, just the K-Run ones.
Yep. Now we'll go around to the side and we'll see what's going on there. Fucking bikes in the background.
Of course. Brush bars, also made by me. Just tied in at 2 points for a bit of extra strength. And also tied in down at the rock sliders, which also made by me.
Pretty much made every bit of the bar work himself. It's come a long way.
Yep, just your Safari plastic snorkel for now as well.
And then, look at this.
Yep, these just to lift out windows, just the same as the ones you can buy, except made them myself, just out a bit of 4mm alloy, just hinges, just your basic
apprentice
stuff.
budget, make it all yourself.
Right.
And then around the back,
custom rear bar, also made by me. Just wanted to try get it as close to the body as possible, so I've cut the chassis back a little bit and tied it in as close as I could with recovery points, and then just the rear swing away, which I do need to sort out a spare because I don't actually have one at the moment.
Yeah, since you've gone 37s, don't have a spare. Hey?
No, don't need one.
Yeah. And then up the top,
and just your plastic eBay roof spoiler.
So now we'll jump under the car, have a look at the suspension, and then we'll look at the rims and tyres and stuff, and then at the very end we'll jump into the interior, have a quick look at that, and then to finish it off we'll just show you the engine bay. Alright, so now we're onto the front end. We'll basically run you through the front suspension, and then we'll jump in the back and have a look at that as well. So what do we got going on here?
In the front, it's in about 3.5 inches to lift. 12 inch or 13 inch travel superior remote race shocks. Radius arm's been flipped to the top of the diff, and the diff's been braced. The whole diff's been pushed forward 30mm, just so I can get a bit more clearance in the guards for the 37s. GU steering box conversion, and then just a Heim drag link and adjustable panhard and all that usual stuff as well.
So basically everything under here's been changed?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, we'll go to the back end now. Alright, so we're at the back end now, have a quick run through this, and then we'll jump onto rims and tyres.
In the rear, sitting at 3 inch, Dobinson's IMS 12 inch travel shocks. All the arms are stock for the moment. I've got long arms at home, just need to laser cut up some brackets, so they'll be a metre long with a Heim chassis end and a Bush diff end. Sway bar links, I've made extended sway bar links, just custom ones, just with Heims on them, just so a bit more, they don't bind up pretty well. But apart from that, haven't really changed too much in the rear end.
And then you've raised the rear panhard too, haven't you?
Yep, made a panhard riser, which pretty much eliminates all the body roll, so it drives a lot nicer on the road.
Yeah, basically just a homemade version of the ramped customs kit.
Pretty much my whole car.
Yeah, so
on ramped and I can try and make it myself.
Yeah, so raising that panhard makes a huge difference with the body roll in the 80s, because they're pretty well known for having a heap of body roll. So you can see how flat that sits now at the height he's running, so that'll be sick. And then by the time he finishes that long arm rear, it'll be perfect in the rear end. So now we'll jump onto these rims and tyres.
Rims are the DWC alloy beadlocks from Dynamic Wheel Co. Tyres, 37-inch Mickey Thompson MTZs. Bump stops have been extended in the front about 50mm, and obviously the disc being pushed forward, so that tucks nicely. In the rear, I've actually trimmed the flare and moved the flares further up, hence why you can see I've had to notch out for the fuel cap. Yeah, and they're extended 40mm on the rear too.
Yeah, that was just so you could keep plenty of up travel as well, pretty much. Yeah, sick. All right, so time for the interior. What do we got going on in here?
Interior is pretty basic at the moment, just because I don't drive the car all the time. Standard steering wheel, seat covers. That's Brass Monkey 8-litre centre console fridge, and then just a single din little head unit, and that's about it. And just a switch panel for just the different lights and sub-tank pump and all that sort of stuff.
Yep, sweet. Now we'll move on to the back part of the camping setup, and then this is a must as well. Everyone get one of these bad boys.
With the sort of touring side of things, I've made this little sort of bolt-in ply section just to house the travel buddy, and just a 12 volt and just a bit of storage, just spare parts and different stuff in here. And then coming around the back, we do sleep in the car, so seats fold forward, bit of ply slides out, and then mattress. Usually there's a mattress folded up in here, that just folds out and we just sleep in the car. Yeah, so very similar setup to when mine was a wagon, and then Peyton when she had her GQ. It's so handy having the 5 seats, but then you just fold them down, becomes a perfect size double mattress. And then you can see with that side bit he's made, it still doesn't really take up any room. And then he's also done a pretty similar setup to my old speaker setup, where it's on the roll bar. You can roll it forward and backwards for camping. Also got an inverter, just a 600 watt little inverter just for charging Makita batteries and different things. Custom drawers, just a bit of carpet on them just for food and general camping stuff, and then just a bit more storage in the wings too. And I've cut out that sort of side section too, just for a bit of extra storage. And then housing all the recovery gear, I've just cut out this section of the tailgate and just made a little hinge thing, and just got all the straps and compressor leads. Yeah, so pretty much just utilising all the little compartments and stuff and being smart on space, really. It's pretty handy. So now we'll jump into the engine bay, have a quick look at that, and talk about driveline and stuff, and maybe some future plans as well. Hang on, fuck the latch. With the engine bay, fairly stock at the moment, just a stock 1FZ, that's 4.5 litre inline 6 motor. They're pretty powerful as stock, but I do have plans to turbo it next year. 170 amp, just an AGM battery, deep cycle battery, that's what runs to the back. Apart from that, pretty well stock in here. Driveline, front and rear auto lockers, which front auto locker's really good, rear auto locker's a bit how you going. Plans to do a proper selectable locker in the future. Apart from that, that pretty much wraps up everything in the Walkaround. Sweet. Alright, so now it's time for the question and answers. We're going to be talking into this mic that doesn't work because the battery's dead, but we'll just see how we go. I'm going to also be looking at my phone because I can't remember these off the top of my head. First question, what is your favourite mod? Bar work. Oh, it's definitely my favourite. I just reckon it makes the whole car look pretty tough, and built it all myself, so that's... Stupid and impractical mod. I don't even know if I'd say I'd have one. Maybe the fact that the headlights change colours, but I don't even really do that. So really use them, hey? Yeah, I don't really think I have Most one. Of it's built for purpose, really. Ugly thing about your car that no one knows? I wouldn't say no one knows, but probably the entire body is pretty rooted, including the seals. The seals are like that. I've just copped rocks and shit. Bit of a golf ball, but pretty well. Before I built all the bar work, it just copped the flogging. Next one is, what is your next big mod? Long arms in the rear would be the next fairly big, and then obviously turbo, which is a properly big mod. That'll come next year, hopefully. Nice.
What would you sell it for cash right now?
15, probably. Actually, no, I wouldn't. 20.
It has to be higher than that.
20.
Yeah.
But I'd never sell it.
Yeah.
I don't ever plan to sell the car.
Same. Most asked questions by people on Instagram or social media in general.
Get a fair bit about the flipped arms and how exactly I did that. Fair bit about the drag link too. And if anyone was wondering, it's literally just a bit of steel with welding bungs and just Heim threaded into it and just bolted through the steering box and just drilled out the steering box and the pitman arm, the whatever you called it, the knuckle end, and yeah, that's all.
Probably
it is.
one of the next things I need to do on mine with the coilovers, because with my travel, my drag link binds so early with the tie rod end still, which is just going to flog them out super fast. Next one is best bush mechanic fix.
Probably the drag link, when I bananaed the shit out of that, and then bent that straight, and then we just went to Bunnings, then bought just a bit of hollow tube and bashed that down it to sleeve it, and then I reckon I ran that for another year. Yeah, as it was under the car.
For some of you people that have been watching for a while, you might have actually seen that in the Tassie trip we did. Yeah, when he bent it, we sleeved it, and that was so strong after that. Yeah. Pretty good fix, that one. Worst full drive story.
Watching your leg getting run over wasn't too fun.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I don't know, I've broken plenty of things, which wasn't too fun. Yeah. Done a front diff, that wasn't fun. But yeah, I'd say probably that. That was not a great time.
Breakages, including my leg, basically.
Yeah, breakages of any sort, really.
Something full drive owners do that you hate.
Probably a pretty common answer, but building your car and not actually taking it out and using your car.
Mole crawlers.
Pretty well.
Yeah. Favourite camp spot?
Scenery wise, I'd have to say when we camped in Coles Bay, is that where it was?
Yeah,
in Tassie.
Coles Bay, yeah.
Just real scenic, like the just mountains in the background, that was awesome. But best camping spot we go regularly would probably be Robe. Yeah, just love camping in the sand.
Coles Bay was a bit iffy if we were allowed to stay there, but it was too nice to pass up. Action. Alright, your essential camp item.
Wouldn't necessarily call it essential, but that speaker in the back is really good.
Yeah, the Eco X gear speaker is sick, because mine's not actually hooked up at the moment, but when I do hook mine up, we can pair them together, and it's like surround sound around the campfire for ultimate wank factor. Your favourite beverage?
At the moment, it's got to be the hard solos.
Oh yeah.
Can't go wrong with them.
Yeah. Waiting for summer, and when summer comes in, those are going to be top notch. Dream full drive trip?
Have to be the lap, wouldn't it? Yeah. I don't know if you call it a four-wheel drive trip, but lap around Oz, which hopefully, once the car's built up, once it's turboed and doesn't use all the fuel in the world, which it'll still use most of it, but yeah, then hopefully do a lap one day.
Yeah. Last but not least, dream full drive or dream car in general. Money was not an issue.
Money wasn't an issue. Either that or a 105 built up properly, turbo FZ, fully built up, everything.
Yeah, ground up build.
Pretty well.
Yeah. That pretty much wraps up the questions. Now we're going to do all the testing. So we've got the limiter test, reduction, speed, comfortability, and flex, which if we can find a rock or something, we might be able to do flex, but we are nowhere near a ramp or a forklift. So
we sort of know. We've got it up on a forklift before, so we know roughly what it does anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So last time we chucked it on the forky, it was about 900 mil, but he has done some clearancing to allow the tyres to get up higher. So it'd be around 900 to the metre mark, but we'll see how we go finding a rock. Alright, so you know with these tests, they're pretty bloody rough. I just guessed myself. I'm the judge, just me. So I'm going to listen to the limiter, and then I'll give it a score out of 10, and then it'll go up on the leaderboard. So we're doing the comfortability test now. We're just in some back tracks. These are probably a little bit rougher than what we did on James's patrol test. So I'll have to sort of just govern it myself. But yeah, get into it, Dan, and we'll see how she handles. only holding this with my hand too, no gimbal, so actually quite nice considering what we're going over. All right, so we're doing the speed test now. Come to a stop. Dan's going to give it a floor, and we'll do 0 to 100. Alright, so now it's reduction test. We've got a flat ground, got the app up, and this will tell us the exact speed in for low, basically. Oh, it's between 1 and 2. Probably call it 1.5.
You're good with reductions then, to do that.
Yeah. Alright, so looking at the leaderboard, so far we've only got the 2 cars, which is James and Dan. This is a Soot and Limiter test. It's obviously just a bit of fun, guessing by me and judged by me. Comfort test is the same. It's pretty much just jump in and have a feel of the car and then give it a rough score. Obviously with the next one, which is the reduction test, the lower the score, the better here. You want the slower speed, so Dan's actually better off on this one. I didn't really know how else to do it on the graph. And then looking at the speed test, you obviously want the lower score here again. James with the 13.1 is a fair bit faster than Dan's 17.1. And then the final test is the flex test, which I'll chuck a photo up of Dan's car. We didn't get it on forklift, but this is a pretty accurate guess considering the test we've done prior.